Some way it's telling me that basically if I would have components set up on change of detection on push or not, it won't matter anymore because basically Angular is going to solve this for me with this zoneless thing.
Yeah, that's correct.
All right.
It's better than we thought, Andrew.
Yeah, so this is like the even more under the radar than enabling complete zoneless is that the zoneless scheduler is kind of now base Angular. It's always enabled, even if you're using zones, because that's just how the framework should work. And we're thinking about zoneless as sort of how it should work. And zones are a feature on top of that, right? It allows you to use just plain objects for state. It allows you to use the default change detection strategy, which is a terrible name for a change detection strategy. But especially because we don't want it to be the default anymore. Yeah, like zones is a feature that gives you certain things like, plain objects. It gives you stability on the server because it knows about promises and stuff that are happening. But at its core, Angular can work without that, right? If you tell us when you make changes, we don't need to know that promises are happening. Like you might just be logging stuff to your, error server or, logging visual interactions and things like that. And that doesn't require us to run change detection, but we still do with zones. Yeah, and I have another example. Let's see if I can pull this up. Sort of a small
You were
demo.
showing us the closed tickets. Were you done with that? Because I know Pavel jumped in with a question.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, it's so I have a demo about this, and live demo is fun.
We love live demos.
Yeah.
You're like Santa Claus today, Andrew. You should visit us more often. This is fun.
Okay, so this is a demo on view transitions, right? So it's a really simple application. We have one component. When you click the button, it's going to increment the counter. And counter is a signal. And then just some styles, right? Of course, infinite screen. And you'll notice the first time I clicked it, it kind of animated and didn't update. And now it's kind of one behind. But the view transition is sort of the animation, right? It's navigating, well, not navigating. There is a router feature where you can enable view transitions through navigations. But let me just refresh that again and show the code one more time, right? So on button click, we increment the counter, right? So the way view transitions work is you say document start view transition, and then you update the DOM, and you can return a promise to tell it like the DOM update is done, animate between the previous state and the new state. And when I click increment, it animates, but the state is not updated. And you think, okay, well, maybe it's because I didn't call mark for check, right? So let's try that. Refresh the page, try again. Didn't work. Let's try
this is
else.
how we learn Angular. Yes, we try this and try that and just randomly bang on it until something works.
That's
how I learned change detection.
Right. So now it's like, okay, I know that I can run a timeout, and like it should have worked by then, right? Change detection to happen after we have all these set timeouts. Yeah, we have these set timeouts everywhere to avoid expression change. Okay, let's try that. That didn't work either. Okay, well, what about a promise? That didn't work. Okay, well, there's this new feature called after next render. So let's create a new promise and resolve after the rendering happens. Let's try that. Did it save? Yeah.
I love this demo. I love the nope
This
comment.
is even worse because the page is frozen. And there's no animation when I do this. So does anyone have a guess at what's happening here?
I think after next render needs to just, it must be broken. That's what we would
that's
say.
What you might think, right?
It must be your code that's broken. It's obviously not our code that's broken.